Hit. Fast. Right? See how flat that was? Perfect. Stand by.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
Push the button if you want to talk.
Hello.
Go make yourself a drink and I'll be down in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally time. In the middle of this lightning storm that's over my house, to bring you HK as a brand.
Is that what I think it is?
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
A song of cold shoulders and the savage HK social media girl. A labor of letdowns and triumphs. The Kraut space magic factory that births legends and provides pipe hitters with premier tools to stack the bodies of more terrorists than any other company.
Osama!
Down.
Alright, get it.
This is Red 02. Geronimo. For God and country. Geronimo.
Listen to that rain come down. A brand that innovates, causing the market to have to follow suit. They talk shit about HK, then they copy him. Like a flared magwell. Definitely something that met a lot of criticism. Or putting a rail on pistols for a light, which they made fun of, but then did something different to try to say, haha, we could do it better. They build bomb-proof guns that have a cult following, even the weird ones, despite how weird they are, like the G11 and the 4.6 pistol and the underwater pistol thing, gun, 6-shot. They care about quality, reliability, and accuracy above all else. Guns that are so good, they turn haters into fans. Guns that are so legendary in how rugged they are in all conditions and their performance, that they're placed in movies, TV, and video games as a staple. Entire generations of people have grown up seeing HK MP5s, Mark 23s, USP 45s, John Wick do work with the HK P30L. Just to name a few. Oh, and of course Hans Gruber be a bad guy with a P7. The same company that brings you pistols that are phenomenal suppressor hosts. Usually it's a crapshoot whether your gun will become more smooth or more harsh while using a suppressor. Hell, even less reliable, but not an HK. When you place a suppressor on an HK, it only gets smoother and easier to shoot. It's like they love the more aggressive and harsh treatment. They even found a way to make a 10.4-inch assault rifle not only shoot flat and smooth, but perform excellent in all conditions and well suppressed. They're also the go-to guns for most professionals worldwide. Now, HK is not all sunshine and roses. Not all puppies, flowers, and chocolate. No, no. Sometimes they do things we don't like. One thing is HK doesn't give you what you want. They decide what you need and then give you that and tell you to be happy with it. A good example is the HK MR556 and 762, both being unlined barrels that are hyper precise and accurate with superior build quality and harmonics, but do not perform like their military variants, mostly because of German export laws and US import laws. But that notwithstanding, they don't perform on the level of their HK 416 and 417 counterparts. They also gave you a swooped rail so that any accessory you mount in an absolute co-witness mount, even if you're a fan of absolute co-witnesses, will force you to have a lower 1/3 at a minimum, like the good Lord intended. They spare no expense and say no compromise. So that means you won't either if you want to buy one. They've made the most expensive handgun not once, but twice. Well, 3 times if you count the SP5Ks and the SP5s. Whenever a contract comes through to HK, all they hear is, please overbuild and charge me for it. HK is the king of proprietary parts. And if for some reason they don't feel like making it, they partner with a company like Knights Armament or Geisley to ensure that they charge you top dollar for peak performance. There's 3 types of HK owners. The knowledgeable shooters who learn the guns and shoot the fire out of their guns. The collectors, who spend more time buying HK handguns and taking pictures of them than they do shooting them. The VP9 owners.
Kermit, how do you cope with all these animals?
Well, there's also a 4th one. I forgot to add one. The haters who have seen the light, have corrected their mistake, and have allowed HK to redeem them from their shame. Who've run out of content, and despite trashing HK owners and operators, saw the error of their ways and were reformed by common sense, performance, and excellence.
I thought so.
And I know some of you will be saying, you play too much. Why are you doing this to me? I figured I'd take another lighthearted approach, but then, of course, reel it back in at the end. I'm very, very happy that I started firearms ownership with HK, and there are positives and negatives to HK ownership, like parts availability is a negative, magazine capacity being a negative, and they're really, really late to the game getting you the stuff that you need or want. But or these really. And they can be downright stubborn. They'll also tease something for years, like the availability of a civilian MP7 or a UMP or any of those things, and then it's hit or miss whether you'll actually get it or not. And on occasion they'll do something hyper cool, like get with some no-name guy to produce what essentially was a catalog mistake for a very, very awesome group buy to support the people that support HK. Or bring in the SP5K and SP5, iconic guns that people have asked for a long time, especially after HK stopped producing civilian roller lock guns. They've always done what they can to bring us guns that are in service with special units, like the Mark 23 or a few other things. And they've always given us opportunities to have quality equipment. And again, sometimes sourcing parts and magazines and all sorts of stuff is difficult. The journey of an HK owner is usually you buy one and the bug bites you, and then you're in a frantic dash to get all the HK stuff that you want, and soon you end up with 16 HKs and you just want more of them. But sometimes getting, say, another P30L is difficult because they only import one batch a year. But then they'll do things like listen to the community on colored frames and bring back some colored frames that we can appreciate and collect, since the USPs are almost impossible to find now, especially ones that are in good shape, unlike this one. But there's never been a time where I've used one of my HKs and it's let me down, ever. How I got on this train in the first place is I was looking to buy my first firearm. My uncle, who's a gunsmith, a real gunsmith, not a fake one, and a mechanical engineer, told me to get an HK USP compact. He saw me looking at all the other guns and listening to everybody else about how cool all these things were. But at the end of the day, he said, I'm not always going to be there to protect you, but I need something that will be. And that started me down my HK journey. And even though he has affinity for other firearms and all this other stuff, he carries himself an HK. So I'm very, very attached to HK, and It's done nothing but reward me with excellent experiences, reliability, guns that I know anytime I use them are going to run. They have, though their magazine capacity is questionable at times, HK magazines have always run well for me. They always feed reliably, and they're always very, very tough. I've dropped them on pretty much every possible surface. I've run them in the rain, I've run them in the sand, I've run them in water, all sorts of stuff, mostly because I'm an idiot and make mistakes. But HK was there to pick me up from those mistakes. So while this is almost a love letter, it's more experience has led me to the conclusion that HK, being one of the top 3 firearms manufacturers, be it for rifles or just in general, is absolutely warranted. And you can have pretty much any HK and it's going to run well for you, even the VP9, which they did almost as a joke. I've never had a problem with HKs, and they're always going to be a massive part and section in my arsenal because they perform, they're accurate, they're smooth, and they've never let me down, which is hard to find sometimes. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Yes, parts of it were a joke. Try not to take it too seriously. Thanks for watching. Take care out there. Just some after action video credits. I appreciate everybody watching. Obviously, I don't have footage of shooting an MP7, although I could have, and I fucked that up. But special thank you to James Williamson for being an absolute legend and pillar of the HK community, as well as Larry Vickers. A lot of HK love, and a lot of these guns, quite frankly, wouldn't exist without Larry Vickers and Ken Hackathorn for the HK45 series, and a lot of the enthusiasm comes from Larry Vickers' videos that he's done over the years. And without him, I don't know where we would be. He's one of the top gun channels on YouTube, and he shows you things that you probably wouldn't see otherwise because of the connections he's made in the industry over the years and the kind of person that he is with his character. So I just wanted to thank Larry Vickers and congratulate him on kicking cancer's ass, and hopefully he continues to do well with that. Please don't forget about Larry Vickers and all the stuff he's done for our community. And again, James Williamson, thank you, sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar, both in title and execution. I'll see you all around.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you.